This episode was brought to you by the Secret Society of Adored Women.
Have you been tirelessly going on crap-tastic dates, having crap-tastic results with men, even spending a crap-tastic amount of time weeding through meh guys and fretting over the one who won't call you back or commit?
Join us for our Hush Hush group of like-minded, successful, badass single women from around the world, turning the dating scene on its head and creating scandalously magical romantic experiences that you will cherish forevermore.
But beware, your love life and life will never be the same again.
Meet us over at thesecretsocietyofAdoredWomen.com.
You are listening to Single Smart Female.
This is Jen,
And Jen,
letting it all hang out for your love life.
examining your dating experiences and answering your hot topic dating questions.
Just you and us, Jen squared. No topic is off limits and no filters involved.
We are here to help you do dating on your terms.
If you have a question you would like us to answer or would like to immediately upgrade your love life with our collection of classes and exclusive merchandise, meet us over now at singlesmartfemale.com. Howdy, Jen.
Hey.
Would you like to say hi to our ladies?
Boom. Yes. Hi, ladies.
All our single smart females out there, our single smart hot females out there.
Ooh, I like that. HAWT. Hot. Hot.
Abso-freaking-lutely. So we have a topic today, a really important topic, and this is a topic that you chose.
Yes.
Which it's actually very near and dear to my heart. I'm going to try to keep my cool because it does.
You can do it, Jen. I believe in you.
We know I have issues.
Sometimes I have to give pep talks, guys. It's okay, though. You got
He's
this.
like, calm down, Jen. Calm down. But the topic is, are you constantly disappointed with men? And I realize there are a significant amount of women out there that are constantly disappointed with men.
I know many.
Many. And I actually used to be one of these women. So this is probably one of the reasons this topic can trigger me so deeply. And I get, we'll call it passionate.
Yes.
about this. But I want to throw it back to you right at this point because this was your topic and I want to let you lead this conversation.
Okay. Thank you for that, Jen. Well, I guess this is inspired by, of course, I have girlfriends that are dating and in all different age ranges, honestly, in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, 50s, 60s that are dating. And I do know some ladies who are talking about how, I never meet a good guy, or this always happens, or guys never call you back, or guys are just concerned about sleeping with you, or they're just, all of these like predetermined negative beliefs about where a relationship or where your dating adventures are going to go. And
they're not even called dating adventures.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's kind of hard to have a lot of fun when you're thinking that you're just going to be an asshole to me. Like, that's not. You're not going to probably cultivate some fun that way. So anyway, sometimes I don't know how to start and unravel that for someone because it's usually something that's taken, they've got a few years worth of baggage. I don't know if baggage is the right word, but of like build up to this belief that all guys are jerks, all guys are, self-centered, looking for sex only, all of that. So it's actually feels a little overwhelming to just start, and you're not going to have it unraveled in one conversation typically.
You're not going to have it unraveled in 10 to 150 conversations. I'm going to tell you that right now. I gave up on that a long time ago. By the way, just so all of my single females know, even if you fall into this category, we're going to have a conversation about it with you today, and I hope you're really taking this in because this is going to be an important piece to your life. If you want something amazing to happen, the best places to start is in this conversation. But this is not just a conversation, to be honest, for just single women. Married women do this shit all the time,
That is such a great point, Jen. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So that kind of brings me to my first point, which is what you focus on grows. and what you think about, you bring about. And if you really need to think about that in your dating life, because if you're going to pay attention to things that have gone wrong for you and put your energy and your thoughts and your all of that towards those negative things that have happened to you, you're just going to bring more of that around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I like to meet women where they're at, because that's really one of the most best places to start to create change. And I accept that there's a lot of shit that's happened, that you may have had a lot of shit happen in your life with men. But I want to tell you right now, and this is the statement that you need to hold on to dearly, is just because you've had a lot of shit happen, that doesn't mean that there's not good men out there. And also, just because you're experiencing different things with different men and it doesn't seem to be going right, it doesn't mean that there's not a completely different reality with men out there available to you. But it's not my job to fix it for you. It's your job to decide, you know what? At this point, I'm done with this reality. I'm going to fucking prove myself wrong about men. And that was the biggest pivot that I made in my love life, that started everything for me and changed everything, because I was a card-carrying man hater back in the day. And you can stay on that path, because I'll be honest with you. I know why you're on that path. It's not just because shit has happened with men, but it feels safer there. And you don't really have to put yourself out there and try anything new. You get to stay in your little corner and just bitch about men and be mad at men and not have great experiences with men, because that feels fucking safe. But you're not living. You're not experiencing all that is truly possible. So if you're going to be here with us, you might as well make the decision, you know what? Maybe I don't completely believe Jen and Jen right this second, but maybe I don't really have all the answers either. So maybe I should start to take on, even if I do it with baby steps, little by little, and listen to what they're saying and recognize that I might be part of the reason that I attract a lot of crap interactions with men. And if I'm the reason, that means I can change it.
Right. And so, Jen, you brought up a good point, like that they're playing it safe and kind of keeping back from taking a risk. But the weird thing is that most of the time, these women want, I would say almost all of the time, these women want to have amazing experiences, interactions, connections with men. So they're like half-ass risking it. They're taking a risk by just going out, but they're also predetermining that this is not going to be any different and it's going to be bad. So they're walking on both sides of the fence there.
Well, it's because they go out with the intention of proving themselves right, whether or not they recognize that or not. I went out with the intention, when I decided to change my love life, that I was going to prove myself wrong. Everything I knew about men, I was going to prove it wrong. I knew what I was doing wasn't working for whatever reason. And just because I couldn't see past all the crappy experiences, I knew there was part of it had to do with me. So I had to decide. That was a really profound thought that I had. It was game changing. Prove myself wrong about what I thought I knew and understood about men.
Right. Agreed. So I have some more to say, Jen, but I really kind of want to toss it to you because I want to wrap up with this.
Well, there's some other different reasons why women do this. And one of it is that they're playing safe. And I think that's the big overall theme. It's a lot easier to believe that men are the fucking enemy. And the only time we get a little bit hopeful is when we meet that one guy that makes our pussy tingle. Yeah. and then we're like, oh my God, I can't live without him. Life is about him. I'll never find anybody else. And then every other man will never, ever fucking measure up. It's hyper-focus. We all know this. We talk about this all the time. But it's another form of playing small. Truly very small. So it's either all men are shit, or it's all no man compares to this guy. Or I'm just never attracted to this guy. I think before the episode, you were mentioning somebody who had so much attention too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm sure we all know someone that is beautiful and that gets attention galore. But in fact, I feel like that attention has actually hindered this person, because this person hasn't determined how to make themselves feel good on their own, and depends upon that attention to feel good about herself. And really, that doesn't come from someone else. That comes from within. Yes. I mean, does it feel good, Jen, when I say, hey, you look beautiful today?
So, yes. But I kind of want to back up on this because, Jen, you're one of those people that gets tons of male attention.
This is true.
This is true, but yet you just called it out on other women saying when they're beautiful. Do you not think of yourself as beautiful?
No, of course. Okay. Of course I am. Have you seen my recent pictures? No, I'm kidding.
Okay. I just wanted to be clear on that.
No, I do feel like I am an attractive woman. And again, I don't say that in a arrogant way whatsoever, but I do feel like I am attractive.
Well, you are.
Thank
so
you.
we all are, and we have different versions of that. Now, I want to say, yes, there are women that might get a lot more attention, and for lots of different reasons. So I agree with you that a lot of times the base of this is a lot of these women, plus a lot of women in general, actually have no clue how to manage male attention. This is
Agreed.
really, really important. So then they shut down and they find fault with men all the time, because that's how they dismiss men. That way they don't have to really open themselves up to lots of different possibilities, because it feels so fucking overwhelming. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Where I was going with this particular person is she is so dependent upon these different men, their attention for her self-esteem, that when a man... Okay, so say she'll start dating someone, right? And then he will do what most guys do. And, you're not going to get the same level of attention all of the time in a relationship. So when he has a moment where he's investing in his life or doing something fun with his friends or whatever, she panics and gets disappointed and upset with him because he's not still texting constantly or this or that or the other, because her self-esteem is so dependent upon his behaviors and not coming from within herself.
Okay. This isn't just women with who get tons of attention. This is actually something, because if you break it down to the smaller point of it, this is something that a lot of women do, is that when a man's communication pattern changes, we freak out.
Yes.
Whether that's because we're so dependent on his attention, or it's a fear of never finding somebody that we like as much as this person, but we choose to be constantly disappointed in men. Most of the time, and this is also what I call the man pause, men's communication patterns are going to change. Even if for a solid 2 fucking weeks, he's been, good morning, beautiful, good night, beautiful, I hope and doing all those little sweet texts, it's going to change
and
sometimes.
Honestly, our communication changes too.
We don't have to be on all the time. We have other parts of our lives to tend to. So ladies, I really want, if you get anything from me, fucking understand, this is so important, that just because his communication pattern changes a little, that doesn't mean all of a sudden he's just out of the picture.
Right.
Case in point, God, I've beaten this horse to death. My husband, sometimes I didn't hear from him 5 fucking weeks at a time. We have now been together for years upon years upon years, and it is getting better, and things are growing, and things are, there's this whole notion of a man's communication pattern changing is not, you're not allowed to let it freak you out anymore. Take a fucking deep breath and turn your attention to the other people in your entourage. The other thing is you've got to stop practicing being disappointed in men, because the more you practice that, guess what's going to happen?
Dun, 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 more disappointment.
Yes, because you're saying that that's what you pay attention to. And what you pay attention to in life is what's important to you. And that's what the universe is going to hand you. You're saying, yep, this is important to me. Another thing, remember this, I've talked about this before. Attention is approval. So if you're paying attention to men who do treat you like shit, what are you saying? Hey, universe, I want more men to treat me like shit.
This is the best.
So awesome. I want to draw a line between the two here. So there's legitimate being treated like shit. A guy not contacting you for a couple days is not treating you like shit, just so you know. Canceling a date on you, not treating you like shit. Standing you up for a date, meaning you have an arranged time to be there, you get there, he doesn't show up, that's treating you like shit.
Agreed.
Unless he comes back and has this major emergency.
Like he cut off his toe.
Yes. Toe cutting off qualifies as a major emergency.
Yeah.
Most likely that's not what happened.
Right.
Gonna be honest with you. But we need to stop being so fucking angry with men. And when you start walking in our world of being an adored woman and changing your perception of what's actually going on and knowing how to engage with men in a different way and understanding that this is more about you than it is them, they are going to step up for you in ways that you never imagined possible, because they'll have the space to do that. Right now, when you are constantly disappointed in men, which, by the way, it's one of the biggest things that shut men down, is feeling your disappointment from a woman. When you go tell them you're disappointed, the majority of men are not willing to go, oh my God, I got to make this better for you. It literally, it's like,
physically shuts them off.
yeah, it physically shuts them off. It's like you're removing their arms and their legs and they're
So-
sitting there.
I wish you guys could see what she's doing. I wish this was on video because she's like making this little robot motions. So cute.
Yeah, and they have no movement and they don't know what to do and they're looking back and forth and then they start short circuiting and the next thing you know, on
Tin
their
Man has
ground.
shown up.
Yes. But when you start appreciating the men in your life already for what they're doing, they want to do more for you. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm teacher, please call on me.
Go.
This is exactly the direction I wanted to head to. I'm not saying we have to wrap it up, Jen, but I'm just saying that that's exactly right. How do you shift this? How do you get out of this disappointment, right? So you have to make a conscious choice to appreciate the men around you. And this can be anybody. It could be your mailman. I don't think there's any milkmen out there anymore, but I like them if they're there.
Bring me my milk.
It can be your realtor. It could be anybody. I know that I went through a romantic disappointment and I chose to look around at some guys that I was playing volleyball with and look at what I liked about them. And in my mind, say appreciations for what I appreciated about each one of them. So one guy, super attractive guy, a super, super sweet guy. And I said, I appreciate his kindness, So what I really want to encourage you to do is they say it takes 21 days to create a habit.
It takes longer than that, ladies. Way longer.
Well, I don't know who says it. Whatever.
Way longer.
But I know that I've personally used 21 days before as a way to get myself in a good habit of maybe making my bed or, whatever it was long ago. But I encourage you for the next 21 days to write down your appreciation or pick a partner or a buddy and text that person every day your appreciation about men and see the changes that take place in your life as a result.
Finally, ladies, this is a really important part. Don't expect your love life to get significantly better for any length of time. You might get a romance going, but it's going to be short term if you don't learn to do differently. But don't get in the habit and talk to your girlfriends about this. You don't need to man bash together.
No.
We don't need to have these drawn out fucking conversations about how horrible men are all the time because nobody is doing anyone a favor. Yes, there will be times that you do need to be there for your girlfriend, but you all need to start shifting your focus to the things that men are doing. And what you're going to see, especially if you come work with us in the Secret Society of Adored Women, that men are willing to step up for you, like I mentioned before, in ways that you had no clue was even possible in your realm. Why? Because you're engaging differently with them. You're seeing something different with them. You are giving them the space to do that, where when you're constantly disappointed with them and in life in general, there's no space for that. There's no space for amazing, magical experiences. There's no space for fucking toe curling, orgasmic, let's just rip our bodices off.
Ooh.
Anything.
Ooh,
any kind of experience. There's no space for that because you're going to be like, meh.
Right. And your energy is so, you don't have to say a word and your energy will be communicated to that person. So I don't want you to be afraid of that, but just be aware where you spend your time and your thoughts and your conversations. It gets communicated non-verbally to the people that you're around. So if you spend your time in appreciation, you're building space for toe curling, and let's hope he didn't cut it off, his toe. Toe curling, exciting, exuberant, incredible adventures.
That, and the last thing is that I want you ladies to realize this is all within your power. And it's a practice. It's something that I had to work on significantly. It's something I still have to work on, but I will tell you, to this day, 12 plus years with my husband, he still gets giddy when I tell him thank you and I appreciate you. He still lights up and he still wants to do more and more for me just based on that, because that presses something in him that he realizes that he's able to contribute to my happiness. He can't make me happy by any means. That's our responsibility. But when you give men a space to contribute to your happiness and you learn how to communicate with them differently in sweet spot communication, when you learn how to sit back a bit and not have to aggressively make everything happen, this is going to be a completely different world with men where You are their inspiration. You are the reason they get up in the morning. You are the relationship that they want to cultivate. But you can't do that if you've decided that you're exclusively going to be disappointed in men. Okay, lover girl, it's time for the final thought on today's show.
Having a disappointing experience with one or even several men doesn't mean you will never have an incredible love life, unless you decide it does.
This episode was brought to you by the Secret Society of Adored Women.
Have you been tirelessly going on crap-tastic dates, having crap-tastic results with men, even spending a crap-tastic amount of time weeding through meh guys and fretting over the one who won't call you back or commit?
Join us for our hush-hush group of like-minded, successful, badass single women from around the world, turning the dating scene on its head and creating scandalously magical romantic experiences that you will cherish forevermore.
But beware, your love life and life will never be the same again.
Meet us over at thesecretsocietyofAdoredWomen.com. Hey, lover girl, this is Jen again. Don't forget to subscribe to the show in your favorite podcast app, as well as share Single Smart Female with all of your single smart girlfriends. And if you would like to play around and learn more about man-tourage dating, come see me at singlesmartfemale.com. Talk to you next time.